pretty
It's,
sad.
Preparing now.
Okay,
Good.
awesome. Well, welcome everyone to the Corporation of the Township of Ontario Valley Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. It is 1:30 p.m. We're meeting in the council chambers. Is there any additions to the agenda? Mayor
Yes,
Mur-
sir. We're gonna add, where do my taxes go?
Okay, perfect. That'll be new and finished number one.
Thank you.
Merv, anything? Welcome back, Merv. It's great to have you at this table.
Yes, for our viewing public,
Very
Merv is back.
Glad to be back.
We should actually, Merv, what we should have done is get a cardboard cutout, put it there,
Yes.
and then have you come in, next time.
You're beat 3.5 months in the hospital.
No, it's great to have you back, Merv.
Just a
Tracy?
quick update on an event for the museum.
Event for the museum,
Museum
okay?
update, yeah.
So I'll just put museum update. John, do you have anything to
I'm
add?
good. No,
Okay.
nothing.
And I don't have anything to add either. So perfect. Could I please have a confirmation agenda, please? Tracy, thank you very much. All those in favor? Awesome. Thank you very much. Is there any pecuniary interest of the general nature thereof? Seeing none? Perfect. Was there any errors or omissions with the previous minutes? Seemed good with me. Very detailed actually in it.
Well, that's Sandra.
Yeah, no, 100%. Could please have a confirmation of the minutes then from the previous
Sure.
meeting? Mayor Murphy, all those in favor? Perfect, thank you very much. We do not have any delegations today, so we'll move on to Daryl's report. Mr. Birch, the chair is yours.
I was so tired reading this report. It's exhausting.
Well, it's busy. I think it's because your government documentation takes up once a year package, so that's enough to carry you through the.
Yeah.
months. That's right. That's why I've realized
More
that.
than once a year.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Go ahead there, Daryl.
It's all good.
Bye, Daryl. Have a great afternoon.
No, I don't really have anything, particular. We just doing our same old thing. And, we had extra samples this month. So.
Yeah.
That was pretty well it.
By the way, those homeowners were very happy with my response, so thank you for giving me the name of where they could send their well water to be tested.
Oh, okay.
I think it was all good, so, yeah.
Perfect. Any questions for Daryl? No? Thank you for the detailed report, Daryl. Always appreciate it. I'll see you in September. Thank you.
Hey, he gets it done.
Thanks.
Thanks, Daryl.
Have a good day.
You too.
Beat that, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
All good.
It's 1:33. And he did not take up 3 minutes.
That's why I came early.
See
Right, man.
if Kevin has the same strategy. Perfect. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hopefully you're doing a lot better.
Hey, yep,
Good. So as everyone knows, this Sandra Way site was closed August 5th. The holiday. So Zata Road has finally commenced. They're on their 6th culvert.
Tracy, how does it look?
Looks awesome. People are working hard. I had to drive through just to, take a look.
She was just doing council business.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. So we're gonna get an agenda by the end of this week to
Great.
see how they're gonna next progression steps. And they're hoping to do all the ditching this week, get it completed. And then they will start the dig out. So hopefully everything goes well.
I was gonna ask, how deep do they have to go under the corrugated stuff?
They're gonna stay above the corrugated.
They're gonna stay above it?
Yeah.
But they're gonna prevent each side from going down?
That's right. Yeah, they're gonna put a geocloth down, which
Okay.
is like a feed bag. It's
Okay.
woven material, but it lets the water go down, not back up.
Okay,
And then they're putting a geogridding in like a snow fence. Like a plastic snow fence that's going in also, so hopefully everything stays continuous.
stays level.
And if it does go, it'll be slight movement. They're gonna go down roughly about 0.7 of a meter. Take out the material and stay above the corduroy. And then backfill and diggers are going. The Snowdrifters waste site, Monday to Thursday hours will be finished on August 29th. However, the site will open from 12 till 2 from September 5th until October 31st. Sandro race site will be closed Monday, September 2nd.
But I will still get phone calls.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
The line painting has been almost completed. They have the stop blocks and stuff to do with, they're not stop blocks. They have some it's a different name for the paint that they use at the crossing guards.
Oh, okay,
So they have to still do them, but they will get done.
it does look good.
Yeah.
It really freshens up, right?
It does.
You could stay inside the lines a little more though. If I could just say, you know,
They're probably doing it late, so
like precision. I'm just kidding. They do look great, especially the parking spots downtown.
yes,
Yeah.
it just helps things out, right?
Mhm.
There's confusion for everyone. So we are continuing to grade after all these nice rainstorms. We're trying to get caught up again. It looks like this weekend we're gonna get another dose of rain, so.
And next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, it's
hopefully-
not very forgiving.
No, not on the hills and stuff.
No.
The guys have been doing a great job grading and, you know, doing the maintenance, but when you get that amount of rain in a short amount of time, they're gonna trench out a little bit, right? So, yeah, we still are doing, you know, ditching culverts, user control, patching. And the crew's been working extremely hard. Our summer students, Curtis Riley and Jesse Trubinsky have been doing a great job all summer. I'll just like to thank them. And if anyone's been down John Street, they did a little bit of a facelift on the building,
Yeah.
so it looks very good.
Oh, it looks great.
it does look good.
That's what I was saying to Jason before the meeting. It looks great.
Yeah, a big eye opener, because generally before you drive down the road, you wouldn't see the building hardly, right? So
Right.
it just kind of jumps at you.
Well, especially last 2 years, you guys done a lot of work, just pulling all the excess material out and cleaning it up, so,
Exactly, yes.
which is good.
That stuff goes back really quickly.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
especially in this weather.
In the rain.
The rain, the heat, the rain, the
Yeah.
heat.
For sure. Also, I wanted to mention also that we are, you know, we have the loader and the brusher going steady also. We're kind of going back around now. We did all the first cut of grass, which every road got double run on. So, you know, it's 8 feet wide plus. And now they're gonna go and do some brushing and get the limbs have grown this year, it's just terrible. Just terrible. So hopefully we gotta keep going here until freeze up, and then everything should be very close to being done.
Do you use a chipper as you go? Not really, that stuff's pretty small. I
No,
guess.
this is like a brush hog.
Yeah,
So it's a
okay.
big disc with blades on. It'll chew it up, but it doesn't. You know,
Doesn't need to be dealt with after that.
no,
Thank you.
For like when on the, like the brusher, for example, when the guys are going through and like ditching, like for the, like. If we find an area that has a high, say, wild parsnip barrier, do we like record that or anything, or no?
It's also the,
I know
A
it's,
county
I know it's the
responsibility.
county responsibility for spraying and stuff like that, I just didn't know if in our own ditches.
well, we have been doing our own spraying,
Okay,
but
I was just curious, because it seems like it has gone down in a lot of the roads, but.
not, we do get the contractor that the county gets, sorry.
okay,
We don't do it ourselves.
okay, that's where that was a cringe moment.
I was gonna say, who's got the certificate?
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
was just curious because
Yeah.
some of it's going to seed now, so I
Yeah.
just didn't know.
And,
That's
you know,
right.
hopefully we've caught a lot of it.
Yeah.
That, you know, we've cut it down before, got the seed, right? So,
No, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I was more just curious, that's all, if we actually like, because it seems like it has been going down, so,
this year it was later.
yeah.
It seemed to be a lot later when it did come up,
it was,
you
it's,
know.
I have it at the end of my laneway.
Annette?
I also spoke to our, the weed inspector at the county, who's our weed inspector as well.
Yeah.
And I guess they only spray, where it's connected to farm properties now. So they won't do everywhere, they'll only do where it's connected to farm now. That's all the county's doing anymore.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so
Mm.
we are doing, when we get a call, when we get a complaint, I send it to Jason, you know, we try to book the contractors in when we can, they're not always available. But, you know, the county will do it for us if it's connected to a farm property, but my understanding from the weed inspector is that's the new policy at the county.
Yeah, no, I was just curious, just just something to monitor as we're going through and ditching, that's all.
Yeah,
Just way I was just driving, I always,
well, for your guys' health and safety as well.
oh, it's never fun whipping stuff, I did it in high school, it's
Oh,
never
my
good.
God.
That's how I became.
Do you have scars?
Right, you grow out of them eventually. No. But no, besides that, anything else, Jason?
No, I have nothing else.
Bye, Jason, have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Just a quickie.
Yes.
As you probably are aware, the BI has hauled an immense amount of material out of the pit. And I don't think I was seeing around, they had their own grader at the bottom of O'Connor Hill. I gathered they graded a few times. That wasn't our grader. I didn't drive up to see if it was our grader, but I just assumed it was BEI brought their own grader. When the hill got too rough, they graded it themselves.
Well, our grader was sitting down near the bottom last week.
Oh, no, this is previous,
Oh, previous?
yeah,
They may have.
Okay, I just thought-
If it went to washboard,
yeah,
they may have come up and just touched it up, just so the trucks,
yeah, I thought, well, they're pretty devoted, they brought their own grader up, because they seem to be sitting there for quite a while.
well, they're hauling a lot of material.
Oh, they're hauling a lot of material out of there.
Because they're going both ways, they're going to Golden Lake, plus they're going, I think up by Brudenell somewhere, so.
Yeah,
There's a ton of
I
trucks
was just
going out of there.
trying
We're
to
a
say,
busy
to
company.
head off a complaint, hey, how's they wrecking the hill? Oh, no.
So actually, we just regraded it because it was washed out a little bit.
Yeah.
And we watered it and packed it, so hopefully it'll stay a lot better,
Thankfully, it's redone the way it is now rather than the way it was.
yes.
Until,
Yes.
until next Wednesday.
Hopefully everything goes good over the weekend.
But I hope we don't get another storm like the two we just had. Like,
that is what it is.
Yeah, you
that was,
can't control it, so.
Perfect.
That was-
All right, thanks, Jason.
All right, take care.
Yep.
do we have a Kevin?
Here yet.
That's all right. I can move on to Sandra's report.
So the August 8th provisional budget report and the balance sheet for July 31st was in your package. We're over the halfway mark now at this point, and the financials are looking
They
good.
do look good.
So I attended a few 1-hour workshops from my desk during the last month. On August 1st, we calculated the 2024 property tax billing for a total of $3,832,344.24. And those bills were delivered down to the post office on August the 2nd. Following that, there were 2 supplemental tax billing batches that were done, one for 2023 and one for 2024 in the amount of $34,114.51. And then there was some write-off batches that were processed where people are receiving a reduction in their taxes for a total of $32,658.55. And just an update on the new police services board, joined for all the area townships serviced by the Killaloe detachment. So we're just waiting on the members that have been appointed from each township to do their mandatory training as well as getting their criminal reference check.
I
And
did
then
mine,
You still need to do your reference check just in case.
I have mine from the Ontario Winter Games,
Okay,
or do you want a new one?
I probably just need a copy of that.
Okay,
Because I believe they're good for a 2-year period.
I just wanna say I got 100% on the test. On the training,
Okay,
I'm just saying,
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the net is just working on getting the insurance for the board finalized. So those 3 pieces all need to be in place before we can even have our first meeting. I'm thinking now might be
Right.
October.
So that we can just switch to something else in January or February when we merge.
So I asked the question if things were going to change because the detachment was merging,
Yeah,
and I was told they didn't think so.
they're gonna keep each board.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's what I thought.
Who are Killaloe merging with?
Upper Ottawa Valley,
Yeah, UOV.
yeah.
Hmm,
I know, because I thought that was
Interesting.
interesting as well, because that's where I thought things may go too.
Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, so unless.
yeah,
It's a big territory, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and I know that they're looking into building a new detachment for Killaloe. So the interesting thing is, where will it be built? And what will that mean for us? Yeah,
Yeah, because there's a
Things-
lot of, like, because Whitney is a satellite of Killaloo.
right. And we have a
And now-
well, we don't have a satellite necessarily, but we've got an office,
Yeah,
which I think should actually move to the paramedic base, but that's a conversation with the OPP. Mr. Chair, if I may, why don't I do this while Sandra's sitting here?
Perfect.
Okay. So in my Renfrew, because I'm a taxpayer in the town of Renfrew,
okay.
so I found this very interesting. This was in my tax bill. And it's, where do my taxes go? And they laid it out so beautifully. And I was wondering if this council had any appetite to put something like this in our next tax bill.
I think it's great.
It is
Shows
great,
transparency.
right? As opposed to people not, maybe not understanding,
Mhm.
maybe not attending our budget presentation. If they want to know, here it is. And I thought it was very well done.
You like it because it's a bar graph, it's easier to compare?
Understand.
I think the
As opposed
visual
to-
was
The
nice.
pies are always a bit hard
Agreed.
to understand.
Agreed.
Oh, really? See, I prefer pie chart.
You're a pie
Okay.
girl.
I think
Pie
this,
charts.
I think either one of them would just
Yeah.
really show what people
But
don't.
a visual one page, it's
Yeah.
like the wonderful year-end summary that the library prepared,
Mhm.
one page, nice
That's right.
colors. Everything that
That's
you
it.
can know.
yeah,
That's about the
Okay,
attention
so
span of
are-
people
We
too.
have a pie chart in the budget presentation, which shows,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see that though. but-
I think this is better for sending out to people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. I'll leave it.
What's, what would the cost of it be to put it on the backside though?
Well, so Sarah is just working on the newsletter right now.
So would
And
it,
I'm wondering, like, how much room can we condense it? Can we do something with it to get something in the newsletter before it goes out for September first? So,
I really want it in the tax bill.
well, it's too late for that.
No, I know.
But yeah,
So a small version of the newsletter would work.
That's nice.
that's what I'm thinking for now, because
For now.
everybody's just got the.
Right.
Or-
It's good timing.
You could mention it and just put on your website. Just say if you want to visually see where the taxes go to the website.
Yeah, so
You could
maybe,
put that in the newsletter.
maybe a smaller version in the newsletter, but then a full-size version
On the
on the
website.
website and the Facebook page.
And then can we, what, the next,
I would say for net, and then I would say you can put it on the website, do that, if we prefer the look of that, and then put it out and like into the, when we do next year's, for
Yeah.
example, at the
Sure.
same time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's,
I just thought it was a grand
Yeah.
idea.
Mhm.
And I'm terrible for opening up my tax bills and sort of just taking the tax bill out, not, I always leave my snow drifters one in and then they end up in the wood stove. Then I'm like, no, but I pulled it out and I just thought that's a really good piece of information for everybody to have. And quite rightly with your tax bill,
Yeah,
Right.
no, perfect, yeah.
yeah.
So in a sort of related question, when you mentioned the gross tax ask, that is our last year's plus the percentage that we agreed on when we created the budget, which was 3 point.
That's our budgeted amount.
Well, the total that I gave you for the billing would include just not the interim,
Okay.
just
Yeah,
what's left of our final portion to be billed as well as the school and the county portion as well.
Okay.
Because we have to collect.
Do you wanna give that back
And then,
to, Sam?
yeah,
I think that's a lot better than pie charts. People
I think.
get confused with pie
pies are
charts.
losing here.
And sometimes you.
Sandra, I actually like the pie chart, to be honest, but I'm fine, if you want to send that out as an experiment, that's fine.
I just find that like when you get into the 1%. It's like this little sliver,
Yeah.
so I like the bar graph just for the visual of it, but. I don't really care, I just thought it was a great idea, and I already warned the Reeve, I'm stealing the idea from him.
Infographics are good.
What's that?
Infographics are always good.
Agreed,
A little footnote, stick to your fridge.
yeah. No,
Perfect,
but it was something that came up in the election. Where, people were saying at our debate that they live on a private road and get nothing for their taxes, which is simply not true when you're talking about EMS. Somewhere to put your garbage. I know that not everybody has children in school, I certainly don't. But I still pay school taxes. It pays for county roads, it pays for long-term care. So I think I don't know, I just thought it was a great infographic. I mean, I don't think that you need to delineate the county of Renfrew stuff, just ours and what goes to the county of Renfrew. Which they did as well.
Mhm.
And we'll let you pick the colors.
Okay.
We're a
I
benevolent
like it.
council. What do you want?
In, anything else for Sandra? Besides that, Sandra, have a great day. Thank you.
And the finances do look good.
Kevin's right
Oh,
there.
Kevin's there.
Kevin.
Present your professional counsel. It's like we're in our own home. Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, everybody this afternoon.
Good, how are you?
Very well.
Go
You
ahead.
guys have been busy.
Yes, yes. And fairly active, fairly active. Anyways, I'll start with the arena. Basically maintenance, we've had some events with the circus there, so.
How was it?
It was good. It was the two shows, approximately of 150 per show. It varied a little bit, but that was, you know,
I think that's good for the first time.
oh yeah, for sure,
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
fantastic.
Yeah. So they did other communities around, so they ran through us, Barry's Bay, so they're in the area.
Is this the first time that they've come here?
For us,
For us, it
yes, they may have been here years prior to, I don't know, I don't
I
know.
don't remember.
Not in my
My
tenure
time.
here, no.
We had the community resource, Cheryl Caulfield, the day camp, and I just got some pictures, so I can just pass around, she just sent them to me today, so. So that was another event I attended, so there was lots of kids and all doing different events during the day.
See, we're sharing the brain. Excellent.
And the new compressor, it's on the pad, it's getting wired up maybe next week, but that's a good thing to have in.
No, that's very good.
Yeah, it's
Is anybody able to go to the gun show? Well,
I'll be,
we are.
I'll be there.
You're gonna go?
Yep.
Awesome, thank you.
yeah, kids are excited.
yeah. The gun show, I'm glad you kind of brought that in, the gun shows all got their tables all on the ice surface, it's a.
Oh, it's gonna be a great.
Yeah,
tournament.
Oh, these are
No,
great.
Huge
awesome.
event, yeah.
Yeah.
It's big.
So that's this weekend.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
You
Then,
know, people
then
can't go.
in relation to that, Kevin, just while we're on the arena, we just had a correspondence from the Community Resource Center in Killaloe, just a request to. That was
The
for
toy bus.
The toy
Oh,
bus.
yes, okay.
Yeah,
For a reduced rate. So what is our, because they are non-for-profit,
That's right.
I was just gonna waive it for the kid. like,
that's
for the-
exactly what
that's
I
all
wanted to
was
do, but
gonna
I wanted to hear from Kevin first.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, it's not really, at the end of the day, it's not really my, like, you know, I can suggest, but wait,
Yeah.
like, you know, that's.
No,
I think they do.
based on our history of like what Kevin provided at the last meeting.
Yeah,
Like that's the exact organization that will we support, especially when it comes to the kids and stuff, so I'm fine with waiving the fee and let them know that.
is everybody fine with that? I will email Jen Good right now.
Perfect. That was only just from correspondence, just want to add that in.
Perfect, yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Kevin. Carry on, sir.
Like the upstairs Eagle Nest, we had some bookings, in July and August, so we have more bookings, coming up, but, mostly, day events or evening. Rotary Beach, the raft is getting well utilized.
So good.
Great.
Yeah.
No, thank you for the quick turnaround though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That was
given
great.
staff, So,
Thanks, Emma.
Thank Emma,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in.
Kevin was on his after my daughter's wedding honeymoon.
I love, in the evening to drive down Augsburg Road and you see the adult swim going on at, late at night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
Um,
Did your teens down
That was a very creepy sentence, my friend.
Is that with clothing or without?
Cooling off after a 28-degree day.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll own
Let's
that.
try and reel it back and
I'll
all
own that.
It's all right, John. Whatever makes you
Nine of
happy,
you
we
down
support
there.
you, John.
Yeah. So we're just finishing up, there's about 20 feet of dock entrance there onto the, so we're finishing that up today, so the new decking, so we got the deck's in good shape there now.
Mhm.
Tourist information booth, by mid August 28th, all our students are pretty full. We'll be going back to school, so Wednesday night will be our last day of the tourism information booth center be open. The bathrooms will still be open, but
I can't believe we're already talking back to school,
I know.
right?
I know, it's going too fast.
It has.
and music in the park, attendance has been everywhere.
You couldn't have it last Friday night.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Mother Nature's gonna throw at us this Friday night, so yeah, it's one of those things. February, or not February, God, way ahead. On August the 23rd is the Guy Jameson and Friends. That's the last night of music in the park.
Mhm.
Legion Field, ball and soccer are done for the season. They finished up with the ball tournament. The car show, well attended. I wasn't there myself, but there was lots of vehicles, and it was a
so
busy,
much fun.
busy spot that day because we also had a ball tournament, so.
So we had a discussion about this at health committee this morning, because the paramedics came with 2 drones and some toys, you know. But the way the organizers set it up was very interesting. With 1 hour was no lights, no sirens, no horns, nothing. So for any child that had sensory issues, they weren't bothered. And then at 1 o'clock or at 2 o'clock, everything lit up, and the noises and the sirens and everything else. It was a really, really fun event. I've got to tell you, like, some really interesting vehicles and lots of emergency services, lots of old cars. It was some brand new cars, like a brand new Tesla. But very interesting event. It was a lot of fun, and we got a huge thank you from the paramedic service for inviting them. So the kids just loved it because they could see themselves on the drone on the screen.
Oh, that's neat, yes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, my kids like like the jacked up trucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Miller brought his, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
For Legion Field, next year, are we gonna put the second volleyball court back? Like the netting wasn't up this year at all.
No, it wasn't,
Is that a budgetary item for next year?
we have the other net.
Okay.
We put the post in and we just never got around to getting the other net back up.
Okay,
One gets well, you'll see, one gets utilized a lot more and the grass just goes
Yeah.
through it as quick. So we didn't necessarily, like, we can put the other one up, it doesn't get utilized as much as it should. So
Oh, okay.
that's the more traffic on it, keeps the grass down, keeps the grass from going up, so.
mhm, okay,
But that's not putting a second one up's not a problem. We have it, so.
But there isn't a big demand as of right now. 1 is sufficient.
That's right, John.
is there a
Right
way
here.
easier, like, because most of our weed eaters will have interchangeable heads on them for like not, like rotor tilling it up more, so it more entices people to utilize them? Cause I know when I used to play like beach volleyball, for example, if a court had full of grass, you're never gonna use it or entice people to use it. That's all I was getting at.
Yeah.
was-
Well, we absolutely.
It's
like,
just
we have
something to
the-
look at for next year, that's
We can
it.
use the same tiller we use for the playgrounds.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
Same type of thing, it's just a matter of.
It's just that putting the summer students to it, right? So.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The tour to Montclair Bicycle Rodeo or rodeo tour is August the 25th. That's an early start. They're talking about leaving, departing at 6 o'clock on Sunday, so they're looking for, have everything open prior to that. So the village working with horticulture with the planters on the bridge just to maintain them. This year, Mother Nature helped us a lot with the rains, not always gentle, but we got some rain. Everything else pretty much, the maintenance, Opiama Park, we had a request for some pickleball lines, so yeah, went up and sprayed them down, and a local person there is gonna use that little, bring their own net, so not an issue, so sprayed it and it's getting utilized, so it's a bonus.
Fantastic.
And we did the same in Flymouth too, so we're right there, so we went up and did it.
The flower box at the new EMS station is particularly beautiful, and it's nicely positioned because you slow down right at that corner, and it's very bright. So
Yes,
it's,
I was
it's
just
really
asked how it looked this morning.
Good investment.
Well, it's the county.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's not part of the horticultural society. Oh, well. I take that back.
So got this milk off this morning.
So you're saying, one
Yeah.
sec, John, are you saying Kevin's
Yeah.
planters don't look nice?
I like it.
That's the question.
I'm really having a bad day.
But, you know, the weather has been so erratic. Like, yeah, these are this is a brand new plant.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I didn't see it this morning.
But Kevin, I will say for the pickleballs, though, it's nice that we're very fast on just turning around, and get it painted, because I know some other municipalities haven't been as, like, there's pickleball is a very good sport to use, and we have the space to use it.
Good.
So I'm glad we're supportive of those initiatives.
Yeah.
Because I've seen other communities, it's just like, no, we aren't going to. And like, but you want more people to be active, more people out there socializing, so I'm glad that is a quick turnaround.
You know what, though, on that, Brent? I like that it wasn't complain. You put in the lines, we'll bring the net. Right? We've got our equipment. So I like those partnerships with residents that are like, if you just do this, we'll do the rest. And what did it cost us for a little bit of paint? So.
Yeah.
I don't know,
No, it's a nice turnaround.
Yeah.
Because when I saw in the package, I called someone that's trying to get another municipality in another jurisdiction to just allow them to use the something for a pickleball court, and it makes sense, and we do this all the time in our municipality, so it's appreciative, that's all.
Thank you. Just with the,
yes.
Yeah.
We always, because the discussion we just had, right?
Yeah,
It's for the
yeah.
library, it's a yes.
okay. I was going.
Yeah.
Else, but.
No,
You're talking about Boople Rocks?
yes,
Yeah,
we always wait.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, no, come.
Sorry, I thought you were at discussion.
No, not yet. Just, the end of the month, with all my staff gone, so the planters will be gone, I'll be taken down, after Labor Day weekend kind of deal, that'll be the.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get out and water them with your little watering can?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I have a few things for you.
Okay,
Okay. So since we were off for a month, a lot happened. So just as an information item, I let council know that Emma thought she had sourced the raft, which was very nice. There was a request for umbrella holders to be attached to the benches around the splash pad. This kind of got out of control on Facebook, where people were taking this person down thinking that she actually wanted us to buy umbrellas, and they would be stolen and they would blah, blah, blah. So all they want is a clamp on the side of the benches, which I can take my little drill and go up and do it myself, but we will need heavy duty clamps. And drill them to the side so that you can bring your own umbrella.
but I guess, I have no issues with putting the clamps in, but isn't that the point of having the shade structure though?
Okay, hang on. When I was there for the Wheels in the Park, it was a scorching hot day and there is not nearly enough shade up there. It's like standing on the sun. So the other thing I was asked about were more shade in the form of trees, which I understand Sarah's already put in a grant application for. But I don't think the clamps on the side of the benches would cost us more than about
Yeah. It's an easy request.
maybe $100, and again, I will go and do it if I have to. Like, it's such an easy ask, and it really did get out of control on social media, which I don't appreciate.
That would just be for the 3 permanent benches there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, obviously not for this year. But something for your budget next year. The baseball club, has asked for a porta potty near the ball field. And I think that we could probably do one for soccer as well, beside the soccer building. So as I was walking over to talk to the organizers of the baseball tournament, this young man with his very little daughter was running across Legion Field, and she was crying. She had to go to the washroom so badly. It broke my heart. And I think the youth building washrooms are fantastic, but not when you've got little kids in a park. So Annette and I had a discussion about this, and we think that we have another one. But if we don't, I don't see, we already have a company that does them for us. So I think,
But for the soccer, it'd only be for pretty much a month. You could drop 2 close to the soccer thing and then,
no, put one at soccer and one at baseball.
yeah, but with your volume of soccer, you'd probably want 2 down there, I would think.
Okay, let's see how much they are. I don't,
So you're
This is for a
looking at
month.
purchasing,
Just
or rental?
whatever we do, let's just continue doing it, because doesn't somebody come and empty ours?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm certain even if we bought 1, 2, or 3, it's not gonna be a huge budget buster. And if we already have a company that does them, then I'm certain that wouldn't be too expensive.
The only thing, we just have to, like, hitting them and staying on top of them and, fastening to the ground because, we had them in the Centennial Park. And they flipped them over on us, so we removed it because,
Okay,
so.
I would just look at it, see how much a rental one is, and then just put it there for the month and then get it away, because you don't need it all year long there.
how long are they?
Maybe soccer,
How long
I think
is soccer?
soccer's only, I thought soccer's only like 2 months at most.
Usually, well, we have Obiango there too, so you're looking from May till August.
Oh,
We
okay.
usually start after May.
Okay,
before
can
we
we-
can-
Can we just price them out, please? And I think that if there's a will, there's a way. And I never considered how far away that fire ball field is from the youth building before I saw this poor little girl.
Oh yeah, when the kids didn't do soccer this year, they did it last year, but oh yeah, I used to run.
Yeah,
Come back and it takes you like, it's a good jog. I'm not the most in shape person either.
well, I was looking at you with a look of disdain when you were talking about beach volleyball.
Back in my prime,
Oh, yeah, back when you were young.
back in my prime.
In my reading of the package, I may have missed it, but I thought I had implied that we own 2 porta potties. Is that right? And had them contracted like for service?
It's not in the package, it was part of my email.
That's the right one,
Yeah.
yes. So, well, okay, well, it'd be nice to get a price for owning
For either.
2 more or owning,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just bring
See
back
what's
the
going on.
alternatives and go from there.
I mean, it's a budget item for next year. Everything's done now anyway. As we just discussed, it's back to school time. People are buying their backpacks. Yeah, I say this all the time. When people say, I don't mean to complain, you're not complaining. We cannot be in every corner of the township at every time and know if there's a huge pothole or if there's a problem in Foymount Park or quite frankly, anything. I really rely on residents to tell me stuff. And then I'm at an event and I see, oh my, like that Wheels in the Park day, it had to be 32 and like full sun. And there really isn't enough shade.
I wonder. I'm not 100% sure on putting brackets on the back of those benches.
Not on the back, on the side.
They're on,
I went and looked at,
they're on concrete pads anyways, Kevin.
Yes, they
You
are,
technically just mount it directly on the backside of it and just put the post up. You'd have enough overhang probably.
I'm not suggesting umbrella stands,
No, no.
not
just
like
the-
patio umbrella stands, just the clamps that you
Yeah,
can slide the umbrella into.
yeah, we can, yeah, absolutely. I'm open for suggestions.
So-
I already looked them up. And I was gonna go and buy them and just install them and not even tell you.
So look at it, Kevin, see what the best long-term solution is.
That's
Like,
where
the
where
most
I'm
there-
kind of leaning towards,
about it. 'Cause those are-
long term.
Yeah.
Long term.
Sounds good.
What's your reservation? Okay, get back.
Yeah.
I wanna know what your reservation is about clamps.
Well, yeah,
Do you
it's,
just not like them in general? Are you a clamp-free family?
And Kevin's always thinking about staff time, right? Like we install them, if they're not strong enough and they get stolen, then we gotta repair them, then it's more calls, it's more maintenance, it's more like when you talk about the porta potties, it's not the porta potties, it's the cleaning them, it's the maintaining them, it's the, like, it's all that creep that, not to speak for you, Kevin, but from an
Yeah.
administrator's position, all, that's what comes into your head. It's not the thing, it's all that comes with it. So,
Okay, I don't think either of those things are outlandish asks. I just wanna say that.
they're not outlandish, but there's other components to it that will take more time, and where do we find that time, and what do we not do in order to do those things?
Well, maybe we asked the soccer club and the ball club if they would mind maintaining them during their
Yes,
season.
perhaps.
I think that there's always,
Yeah.
there's always a compromise. If this is something they want, would they help out? Just make sure that there's toilet paper, make sure there's sanitizer, make sure they're not disgusting. I think that there's a give and take here, if they would be willing to do it. I think it's something that we can do.
no, we can definitely, look into that, get some budget prices and see what's gonna work the best.
Again, none of these things
Yeah.
are for this, well,
That's
the
right.
clamps could go on today, but
Come on now.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
Just
sir.
I understand while I was away, you had an unbelievable loss. I've got used to use an alarm system for like overseas shipping containers. I don't know if they still have them or not, but if you want an alarm
Mhm.
someplace, give me a call and I'll tell you what we used to do.
Okay,
Rather
okay.
than get into it here and
Yeah,
now.
yeah, no, for sure. Thank you.
We used to use them for overseas shipping containers.
Yeah.
And they're relative, they were under $100 at the time, so.
Well, you email that information to Kevin, you guys can. go from
Yeah,
there.
take it offline.
Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Yeah.
Anything else for Kevin? Besides, actually, we just need confirmation though on, just to make sure everyone's good for Boople Rocks waiving the fees for it, like we always do.
In favor?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Anything else, Kevin?
No, I think that's,
I don't think Boople Rocks has to come back to this table. Maybe
No,
the
no,
next
that-
council, but not this one.
Yeah.
I think that's just, they're our baby sister, right?
Well, because what I was gonna say, what would be simplest is you already know that generally the library initiatives prior, so
Yeah.
just we can approve them in one time and
That's what I'm
in the
saying.
fall or in January, and then it doesn't have to come back to a table for those
Right.
initiatives.
So
Where
are we approving them in the new year when we're looking at budget, or are we approving them now?
I would just approve them now.
And what are we approving, Google Rocks and the Authors Festival, or are we gonna get a list from them in January?
get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's,
No,
yeah,
but what I was saying is that at our next meeting, that like, so same as we talked about doing our like budget slightly earlier, whichever for it. Just they already know what events they're doing next year, for example. So I already submit that in one email, one letter, and then it's easier for us. It's less paperwork as well, so.
So in our response back to them for the Google Rocks, I will ask them for a list of all their events. for
Yeah,
next
that
year,
works.
Because we'd like to consider them all at once.
yeah.
Thanks.
Look at us being all efficient like.
Perfect, Kevin. Have yourself a great day.
Bye,
thanks
Kevin.
much. Take
Take
care.
care.
Yeah.
Clams, Kevin. They're just clams. Alex is over there going, oh, boy.
You guys are crazy.
Daryl then.
Got 'em?
Yeah.
He's close by.
Right, where did you go? Daryl.
That's usually me that gets Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spiritual.
Yes.
Daryl, welcome to the table today, sir.
Short, sweet,
Perfect.
Yeah,
really nothing going on.
that's
Oh, I
all
thought you
good.
were referring to yourself, not the,
Pardon?
I thought you were referring to yourself.
No, no.
Your building permits look good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm buried again, so.
Okay,
Good.
It's
That's
just
good.
coming in
That's
waves,
good.
coming in waves. So, yeah, you'll see our numbers for fire calls is a little bit less. But, just a little under. Almost half of what we were last year.
Yeah.
So,
Last year
you
was
know, they've
fine.
got 3 already in August, so hopefully that's the end of it. Usually come in threes. So other than that, we're always looking,
Mhm.
you know. Numbers are staying the same. At least they're doing that. They're not going down, which is good.
it is good.
So,
Well, happy birthday, Daryl.
thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And so we've got something for you, not council. We had nothing to do with this. Your wonderful boss and colleagues. So that's for you.
Okay.
And I understand that there are cupcakes
Yeah,
in the fridge. So if we want to take a 5-minute break, everybody can go grab a cupcake.
Daryl also requested that we sing him happy birthday.
Okay, but,
Okay.
okay, I'm not starting it. Can we get more of the office staff in?
Sure we can. Sure we
You
can.
wanna sing him happy birthday on camera?
Yes, he wanted it on
Big
camera. He
deal.
wants to rewatch it later, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can't, we'll just.
I'll lip sync then.
Okay.
we can get Alex to start.
How are you at singing, Alex?
Oh,
Gifted.
So, like you so much, I won't sing.
Daryl, this is why I don't tell people my birthday.
I know when your birthday is.
Oh, yeah, I guess you do.
No, it's kind of a milestone today.
It is, oh,
Young
yes,
fo-
for our viewing public, it's Daryl's 60th birthday. And I remember your 50th like it was yesterday,
I don't.
which is scary. I guarantee you don't remember it.
well,
Guaranteed.
there you go.
I was there for part of it.
Yeah. Well, you were physically there for all of it. I just
Okay.
remember all of us in the tent.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daryl. Happy birthday to you.
Done. 20.
Thank you very much.
And that.
I'm just bringing us.
Oh, unless Daryl wants to come back for the ridiculousness of your report. A delegation request,
No, that's fine. It's his birthday.
I know. You're right. I'm a taskmaster. What do you want from me?
Okay. So I won't go over well, it quickly just says that I was on holidays and then I've attended, there's been a lot of actual planning meetings happening here with Anne and people who are interested in developing in Boulder Valley. So that's been really interesting. We'll see what comes out of that, what comes forward. So
It's very exciting.
it is exciting. Yeah, some of the pre-consultations were really interesting. So, yeah.
Just out of curiosity,
Mhm.
do you think that we're very developer friendly with having no development charges? And this council being very willing to partner with these developers to make sure we make things easy?
Yes, I think that definitely has been something that I've heard from people who are trying to develop. I know there's a lot of regulations. I know studies and things that have to be done that we have to follow. We don't have a choice, but to, we don't have authority to go around that. So I know that does become a challenge when people are in here trying to develop and they're like, well, why do I have to do this? And I said, well, it's under this act or that act. But I have been told that both council and staff and also that the staff work so well together that, between water and sewer and between our CBO and between our public works, when they're having discussions with them, they work really well together. So what I've heard from developers is it's so nice to, like if you're talking to Daryl, but then you get into like a road issue. He's like, well, let's call Jason and we'll figure it out. Whereas they said in some municipalities, like the water and sewer and the roads like don't get along. And then you're in this whole like, well, that's, my authority, not your authority. And you shouldn't be talking to them about that. It should be mine.
So
So
the
I think it's,
collegial manner in which our staff, our department heads specifically work
Mhm.
together. That is really great to know.
that's.
But
been
when I
mentioned
read
to
your
me.
report, the first thing in my head was
Mhm.
development charges and the ease at which we're not a council that's going to put unnecessary restrictions.
No, open to having discussions to find the
Right.
best way for it all to work with the community. And I have to compliment the county too. Because Anne's great, coming in every month and she meets with the people and gives the best advice she can give. And if there's something that she sees that she's like, do you think we could call Jason or Daryl, and can we have a meeting or Erica and just kind of chat this out? So it's very, it's a lot of teamwork. And like you said, it's not, council is looking for the development, so not trying to put barriers up where we don't have to, and flexible and creative. So, yeah, so I think it's interesting and we'll see where some of
Good to
these
know.
go.
So
Very
less
good.
red tape essentially in helping.
We're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Promoting growth in our community as much as we can, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah.
That's good for people to know.
it is. Write that down.
So the AMO conference is coming up next week, so it is Sunday to Wednesday. And we submitted the following delegation requests. So we submitted one to the Solicitor General, which was discussed at council to find a resolution on the unfair and costly treatment of small rural municipalities, because we're being treated exactly the same as large municipalities, and our equipment, it doesn't have the same hours on it. We don't have the same demand for our services. So, we specifically highlighted how fire apparatus is governed, and the response from the Solicitor General's office was that they declined to meet with us to discuss this.
Wait
because
for it.
they stated that these issues are related to insurance, which are not regulated by the Solicitor General. So, that is the response for that delegation.
I wasn't sure when you read your package, if you would really fully comprehend the, quite frankly, ridiculousness
Pass the buck.
of that statement.
Mhm.
It's so, I'm very disappointed. I have a feeling it has something to do with Annette and I, but I can't prove it.
Has very little to do with the issue at hand,
Yes,
which is getting good service out of good equipment.
Mhm.
Well,
So
longevity.
we can try again at Roma, or perhaps we will run into the Solicitor General at AMO and have a hallway discussion about it.
Or I might ask the Soul Gen, Michael Gersner at the Bear Pit.
Right.
But if I do, I'll track him down and fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Transportation, we also requested a delegation because we do have challenges which we've been able to manage so far, but with our snowplow drivers, because of the CVOR, they can only run so many hours within a weekly, bi-weekly schedule, and we can't control the weather. So we don't know, whether the snowstorm is gonna be, how we're gonna have to have drivers out for 13 hours on this day. We're gonna have to have them out, again, 2 days from now. So it really affects our maintenance and our service levels, which we still are above minimum maintenance, but some days we're right down to minimum maintenance because of the number of storms that we're getting. And so with tow truck drivers, the province has exempted them from having to meet the hour standards under their CVOR, because it's not the same as a transport driver who's driving the whole time, right? Like there's no breaks, they're driving. So, tow truck drivers are responding to emergency situations. So they might drive a few hours here, a few hours there, but there's breaks in between. Pretty similar to our snowplow drivers, which it's not a constant, it might be constant for today, but then you might get a break tomorrow, but then you gotta go back out the next day. Oh, but then you can't because you're over your hours because within the bi-weekly schedule. So really the request was to the minister to say, we're not constant drivers, like we shouldn't be treated the same, we should be treated more like the tow trucks. But what the response we got back from them was that they had an overwhelming, which doesn't surprise me, Ministry of Transport is definitely one of those ministries that gets a lot of requests. And so, and I know, I can't remember how many delegation requests they had, like something like 1,200 or 2,000 or something.
Yeah, no, it was wackadoo.
Yeah.
At our
So-
Roma meeting, they told us, I can't remember what the number, I think it was 1,200.
Yeah.
Which is insane, it's an insane amount.
So I do understand that, but I appreciate that what they said was contact the ministry.
Yeah.
Let's have a meeting. Doesn't have to be at the conference. We'll follow up with you on this issue at a later date, which I think we can include Jason in that meeting, which is
Yes.
great. So that is not a dead issue. That's gonna move forward with Ministry of Transportation
This is a much better response.
response. Yeah.
And just so you're all aware, this is a request that came from Jason.
Oh, 100%. It's
Yeah,
impacted
so-
us previous years, so
Yeah.
you have to clear the
Yeah.
roads. There's no exemption, especially if you're down staff, for example, for
Yes.
illness or anything.
Yes.
Right.
And then, so no, 100%, we need to push that agenda, so.
Yeah, if you've got one person on holidays.
Yep.
One person off sick, we're already, like, that impacts us,
Yeah,
wild if there's storms. So,
but we will follow up for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Because I think this is a reasonable ask and maybe, no, not maybe. We obviously are not the only ones that have this challenge.
no, I think this is across the board, so
Yeah.
I think it's an easy ask and we had Ministry of Transportation before where we had another easy ask. That
Right,
came together fairly quickly, so I think we just have to follow up with this one. So the Ministry of Energy has approved our request. So we will be having a joint delegation with Mississippi Mills and the town of Renfrew on Monday, and so that request was approved. As we were discussing earlier, Sunday at 1:30 is the water wastewater LAS, so definitely we'll be attending that to see what we can do. And beyond that, I haven't picked the sessions to go to or followed up with that, but I think there'll be some good networking and some good information opportunities on whether it's funding or whether it's infrastructure or that kind of thing. And I'm sure, all of us will have, like, between Councillor Epps, Sanderson, Mayor, and myself will have lots to report back on what went on in September and what initiatives we can move forward with.
so a couple of things on AMO. Number one, I request that when we come back, you do put in written reports of what you've done. Please try not to go to the same plenaries. I am going to have a very difficult job of going to any session. I do have our delegation, I've got delegations with the county and I have a delegation with the Roma board. So my dance card is sort of full for this particular conference. And of course, we're trying to get our rural caucus member elected, so that will take up some time as well. I will try and get to as many things as possible, but definitely written reports when we get back, please. I just wanted to, can I interject in your report here, because this is timely? So one of the things that you are probably going to hear at this conference, the chair of the Big City Mayors, who is Marianne Mead Ward, lovely, lovely, lovely woman, very smart, brought forth an ask to the province that homelessness and the opioid crisis be its own ministry. So I was shocked on the news the other day that they ran her entire press conference. That's how well-spoken and well organized she was with her thoughts. I think we're going to hear a lot about this at AMO and through AMO. So her analogy was, you just split up rural from ag. So why can't you split homelessness and opioid from health and mental health, right? So there's an associate minister for mental health, Mike Tavolo, but why can't we have a separate ministry for homelessness and opioid? So if you hear this on the street, this is part of our MESA initiative in Renfrew County, which is a big deal. And also, one of the things that came out first thing this morning is that AMO is taking, so I had late breaking news when I got to health committee this morning. AMO is taking this on with the Big City Mayors. And they reported this morning that there are over 1,400 encampments across Ontario, which is a staggering number. So I just wanted to interject because this is pertinent to AMO and it is very timely information. So if you're hearing it, we're doing what we can in Renfrew County, but we really do need to call on the province for this ministry. Thanks.
So appended to your statement, will there be a session on opioid crisis homelessness there? Is that a plenary session or do we know?
I'd have to go back on and look.
I'm sorry, so I'll
I
go.
wasn't as engaged in the plenaries as I should have been, John, to be honest with you, because I know what the schedule looks like.
Look at amo.org, is that where we go?
No, AMO,
Send me the link.
amo.on.ca.
.on.ca, okay. Yeah, because that would be one would be very timely, very good for me to go to.
Yeah.
Have some expertise in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next thing on my report is this, so the Eganville, sorry?
So exciting.
The Eganville Horticultural Society made a submission. One of their members, Judy Grassmith, was the winner of the 2023 Ontario Horticultural Association Convention. Her submission won, and the convention happened to be held in Ottawa this year. So in Ottawa, they were presented with these two plaques. So this is Rock Your Garden World Day. So they proclaimed that day, Rock Your Garden World Day, on July the 21st, 2023 in Ottawa, in honor of her submission. And then this is also basically the resolution that the City of Ottawa Council passed, signed by the Mayor, Mark Sutcliffe, obviously proclaiming Rock Your Garden World Day. So very exciting that they won, because this is, you know, for the Ontario Horticultural Association. And I received a request from Eganville and Area Horticultural Society that that we hang these plaques, you know, somewhere in the township office where people could see them. So I don't know whether they go behind the front counter or whether they go, I'm not sure what room we have in here or where I can put them, but wanted to sort of show council and ask permission to hang them up at the township office.
Sounds good.
Congratulations to Judy. Does everybody know Judy?
No.
So she is one half of Red Shoes with her husband, Stefan Grassmith. Great couple, lovely couple. She's so deserving. I'm gonna get her to come and do my garden. But I think that they should be hung where they're visible. So I think out there rather than in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the counter for
Yeah,
6 months.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Mhm.
Thanks.
The horticultural society is a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you.
I know.
So I just also wanted to give council a heads up that the Cunningham Swan Annual Municipal Law Seminar has been scheduled for Wednesday, October the 23rd at the Eagles Nest. So invitations will come out following, but I thought I'd give you a heads up that that's,
October 23, and it's a one-day session.
it's a one-day session, yeah, so the different lawyers from Cunningham Swan come in and talk about municipal. And we usually get sort of a background of here's the things they're gonna be talking about, whether it's land use planning or whether it's, you know, code of conduct or whatever, and it's free. They feed us as well, so
It seems
And
like yesterday we had that.
I know, right?
And invitations to elected officials all throughout the county, sort of
Yes,
thing?
yes, we
Wonderful.
get
That's a
people
good-
come even from outside of the county, we get, so they do a couple of these around the province. And we get lucky enough to host one of them, and yeah, so there'll be lots of people there, so hopefully you're all available on October the 23rd.
I just thought, oh my goodness, that's county council day, but it's not. I did the math. I
Yeah.
figured it out.
That's at the Eagles Nest.
That's at the Eagle's Nest, yes, correct. And I'll follow up closer to the day, but
Yeah, and a reminder.
yeah, for sure. And also, so you're gonna see under correspondence, there's a letter from the County of Brantford
Mhm.
regarding part 3 of provincial offenses. So I did speak to our bylaw enforcement officer about this. And he says, yes, it is a rare section. So I can sort of understand why the funding's been told and why they're not moving forward with prosecuting these anymore. They're few and far between, but they do come up. They do happen. And so the county has sourced out a solicitor who's willing to continue to prosecute these at a cost of $150 an hour. We may not have them. We haven't had one since I've been here. We
Yeah.
may not have one for another 5, maybe the next council, maybe even the next council after that. But it doesn't cost us anything to opt in to the county's solicitor. And if this person is the one prosecuting them across the county, they'll have some familiarity with it, so we're not going and sourcing our own prosecutor to do this on our own time, and who knows what that charge would be. 150 an hour is actually a very reasonable charge for a prosecutor. So my recommendation, Jim's recommendation, is that we opt in.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost us anything unless we have to use it, unless we have a charge laid under part 3. that we
Could be
want
there in the event
prosecuted.
you need it.
In case we need it, exactly.
Just GIC.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think we'd be foolish not to.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So I will get back to the county and let them know that we are opting in to that service, and hopefully we never have to use it. I'll just quickly touch on Erica's report, and then I'll ask Sarah to come in and give her report today, because she's got a presentation on the youth summit that she's been planning. So not too much on the planning and licensing report. We do have a public meeting this evening, and we also have one coming up on September the 3rd for the St. John's Oxford Church. Anne McBean is still continuing to come in. She is here September 3rd, October 8th, November 5th, and December 3rd. So those have been successful. And yeah, and emergency management. So there was a good awareness note in the final tax billing that went out. So trying to keep people informed, and also that keeps us compliant, because we have to file with the ministry every year that we're in compliance with the Emergency Management Act. And one of those compliances is how are we keeping our residents informed, and sending out something with the tax bills is something they really like. So
See, I actually read it. See, I just said I normally throw this stuff out, but I did. Tornadoes and thunderstorms. I liked it.
yeah. So if you don't mind, I'll let Sarah know she can go.
Yeah.
Perfect. You don't want me to yell?
Oh, yeah, you could. Sarah. Oh, she's at the counter with someone. Sarah, wait here.
Well, you can go through her report.
I go through the others,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, that's good, because I do want to touch on the CIP.
Yes.
So, she's got a report there on Canada Day, which was great, the local passport, top local passport went over fairly well. And of course, the Ontario Authors Festival, which is always such a success. And she is looking at doing an interactive career
I
expo.
love this.
So there's more information there about that. She's been contacting with the high schools and just wants to have, you know, them exposed to sort of all kinds of different employers so that going forward, they, you know, they sort of know what we do and maybe they'll be interested in come ahead over to municipal. The other thing is busing is always an issue, as I'm sure everyone got notice that it continues to be an issue. So I'm not sure for the career fair how that's going to work out, if we need to bus people in, or do we do it on a Saturday or something and parents can come and bring their kids. So those are still being planned out, but
Or PD day, to be honest.
yeah, PTA, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, that's
um,
what that is.
Mhm. Mhm. So, the newsletter, I think we talked about some additions to go into there, so that's good. There's a CIP application in, for, Rio. And they've requested, the request was for 1,500 for signage and 1,500 for facade. However, we only do 1,000 for signage is our max and 1,500 for facade. So, the application is there. And it's matching of up to 50% up to that amount, depending on what the invoices are. So they've only included a sort of a quote for lighting, which I think is more facade than signage. But I noticed they do have a new sign up at the back of their patio.
I know, but
Like you can see from Centennial Park. They didn't include that invoice,
No.
but I don't know whether their intention is to finalize it with that when the CBO comes out and looks at it. So the application is in there. I didn't do a resolution for it this evening, but I can if committee sort of gives me direction to say, because if we approve the up to 1,000 for signage and up to 1,500 for facade, it still has to be inspected by the CBO. We still have to see the final invoices. So it's not like if we approve that, you're automatically getting it. You still have to prove what you spent it on and it still has to be approved. So I think potentially we could add it to the agenda tonight and pass it, or we can save it till September if you want.
The lights, I think the lights are going in kind of now. And apparently, so these are lights that are gonna light the whole building. And they'll be able to change the color of them remotely. So if it's St. Patrick's Day, they can be green, which I think is gonna look really cool, especially over the river. So I would like to pass this as soon as possible.
So is committee comfortable with a resolution coming to council tonight to say up to $1,000 for signage, up to 1,500 for facade, you know, following CBO's inspections?
Yeah.
Is
that's
that
fine.
a comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that was really all I had. Well, Sarah obviously still has the Eganville and area meetings, the swim program, which I'm attending on Saturday. I think Sarah sent you out an invite if anybody wants to
I'm gonna
attend.
go, you have to RSVP.
So
Want to pick me up?
It's on Island View.
I know, it's down the road from me.
I know, I didn't expect that.
So that's been a very successful program this year.
Oh,
And
kayak
Camp
over.
Smitty and all the kids that attended there, so
Mhm.
that's also great. And then the pending applications, so that we're still waiting to hear from.
No, we're not. This is what bugs me.
Yeah, I do also have to, we can speak about this now, and they've lifted confidentiality, but we're not allowed to get into details on it because that will have to follow up with our media release, which will be coming shortly. But the Rural Transit Solutions Fund, I will be asking to add a resolution to the agenda tonight because they would like a resolution authorizing me to have authorization to sign the agreement before they give me the final agreement with my name on it saying that I'm authorized to sign it. So.
It's a true story.
They asked me for this resolution, so I will go ahead and request, if council agrees, to have it added to it tonight so that we can go ahead and receive this agreement and have it come back and pass by bylaw. And then hopefully at some point after that, we can have a media release and move forward with this project.
It's just delegated authority. It's-
When we, in the resolution, we mentioned this is from the Ministry of Lesser Ed Tape.
Yeah.
I sent them the bylaw appointing me CAO, giving me authorization to sign contracts. That was not sufficient. So, regardless of that, we are still allowed to move forward with the project, even though we don't have, it hasn't come forward and we haven't done it. So just to reassure you, it's not that this is sitting on my desk somewhere and nothing is happening. I have still been making calls. I've still been, working on RFPs. I've been working with the other municipalities that this grant is in. So it's not stalled. We can't talk too much about it right now, but there will be
Stay
a
tuned.
release and agreements and stuff coming, but I will ask to add a resolution tonight so that we can move the paperwork along for that funding. And now, yeah.
So this ask of you,
Mhm.
is that to you specifically, or is it kind of out to all of the CAOs? Or this is specific to our
This is
request?
specific to us,
So that's
yeah.
promising, I
Well,
suppose.
the
Yeah.
three,
It'd just be the, yeah.
like,
It's the three, but we are the lead municipality.
this is for,
Our charger and, oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's
Sorry.
fine, it's okay. Yeah, we're not gonna release it media, so we're just gonna be quiet about it until we do the media release.
Okay.
He's picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, I'm
saying-
but it is big news
That's
and you're
fine,
gonna
just
wanna be here
just
for
bring it
it.
to the meeting tonight.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so it's
Just
kind of a
that-
funny,
yeah,
and then the agreement will follow.
'Cause that's
Hopefully the
what the-
media release
yeah.
before the agreement, then we don't have to have this weird conversation
Yeah.
again. But if we do, we do, and that's the way it
We've
goes.
only known about this fund for 8 months.
Holy.
Well, it's 8 months between us and
Perfect.
the government, the feds.
So now
Sounds good.
It's painful.
Sarah,
Quick question, Annette, what time is the swim thing again on Saturday?
It's 2 to 3.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or you really are gonna go?
I might. You wanna go?
No, well, if someone from the council is going, I won't
I
go.
can go, it's just down the road from me.
That's what I'm thinking.
Perfect. I'll be at the gun show.
I'll be there. There, see, split.
Oh, you're
I
going,
should.
Annette, you're going to the
Yeah.
swim?
Divide and
Full
conquer.
full disclosure, I'm not doing anything on, I didn't want to do anything on Saturday because my wedding anniversary is Sunday and I'm not having my wedding anniversary with my husband. So we're doing it on the Saturday.
Nice.
Well,
There you go.
I'm glad you're not going to the gun show to celebrate your wedding anniversary.
We have gone to the gun show to celebrate.
Actually, gun show, you know what, gun show would be an amazing wedding anniversary.
I won't be at the gun show because I'll buy something.
Okay.
I already
I'll
have
tell you
enough
later what he
guns.
bought me for Valentine's Day one year.
I'm usually camping, to be honest. Sarah, go ahead.
All right, yes, so I'm here to go over the summit proposal. I left a copy on desk for all of you.
Yep.
And we are doing it in 2024.
Yeah, it's not 2025, 2024 this year. So the proposed date is October 11th. It's a PA day for both the public and Catholic school boards.
And the following week is government week.
Yes.
Which is why I love this.
Yes, so it flows very nicely. And I'm thinking, well, I was thinking more of a full day event because it is a PA day and then parents can drop off and pick up their kids.
I liked your rules. They must come with a lunch and a snack.
Yes.
They must be dropped off, they must be picked up, they must be registered. You had some good rules in here.
What is the target age group for this?
So that was one of the things that I'm gonna kind
Okay.
of bring to you guys. So the purpose of this is to give our youth an opportunity to share their thoughts and ideas as to what they would like to see or do in Bonnechere Valley. Have positive discussions regarding youth leadership and wellness leading into the local government week, as we mentioned. And share information for creating inclusive communities, and that being making sure our youth have their voices heard, and also some intergenerational integration, with different age groups. It's nice to have that sort of well-rounded balance in a community. And to create community youth champions who are passionate about seeing good things come to fruition in Bonnechere Valley. So going over how it'll work, parents, guardians will register their youth in advance just through a Google form. Just so we get an idea of how many people will be there and how many adults we need, that sort of thing to facilitate. Yeah, parents and guardians will provide a nut-free lunch and snacks for the youth who attend, because that way we're not worrying about having to cater the event. And so, yes, I was thinking again, back to the full day, youth will sign in between 8:30 and 9 and be picked up by 4:30 at the end of the day, roughly. And I would also like to create a resource booklet for the youth to take home,
Yes.
with different contacts and other information for them that they can refer back to and, you know, place for them to take notes throughout the day, that kind of thing. And then so I did come up with a rough outline. So I will preface this by saying I'm open to other topics and ideas for discussions. This is just what I came up with while I was brainstorming. So again, doors open / signing the kids in. And then we would go through a group activity, which you can see on the side there. I did do some research and kind of modified some group activities, what I thought would work well with this particular event, this summit. So we would do one of those at the start, kind of just letting kids warm up to the day, and then we could go into our first session of the role of youth leadership in municipal government, which I thought, so we'd go through the presentation, then break them off into small groups. Prompts and questions would be provided to small group facilitators to get the youth into a good discussion. Then come back to the large group to do a recap, ask, you know, the facilitator would ask someone from each small group to share the topic they discussed. And then a general Q&A for the presenter, which I was thinking could be council or the mayor, whichever we would like to.
I would love to do
Yes.
this, and I want to tell council that all I said was, Sarah, you know what? I'd really like to have a youth summit this fall. And this is what came out of it. So I just want to commend you on, all I had to say was youth summit and you came up with this, which is absolutely brilliant work. I think it's going to work very well. I love the format, especially the group activities.
Mhm.
Very smart. And then we get them involved in your other, like creating inclusive communities. I think this is brilliant. I hope people take advantage of it, and I would be proud to facilitate it.
Mhm. That would be wonderful.
I can't thank you enough for making my 2 words come true.
Great, that's great. Yeah, and then so another thing I thought might be nice to have would be to have, we could have the Renfrew County Youth Wellness Hub come and have a booth set up,
Sure.
as well as Connect Well, maybe, I know Bernadette McCann House has talked with me before saying they would love to just be able to set booths up at events, just they're there if someone has questions or would like to talk kind of thing. So I was thinking if we had those set up during their break times or whenever throughout the day, the
Yeah.
youth could go check out their booths, see what they do. The Youth Wellness Hub offers lots of great resources for the youth. And then we would lead back into another group activity, which would lead us then after into a lunch break. Then we would go into our next session, which is where I put the creating inclusive communities. And again, just the topic generally like getting youth to feel included, and the intergenerational integration. For that, I'm still brainstorming ideas for a speaker. So any feedback or thoughts or ideas, I'm welcome to. So same format, presentation, small group, large group, Q&A, then another body break. And then the third session, I thought it would be good to have a discussion again with a community health worker from Connect Well or from the Youth Wellness Hub, just about youth wellness, healthy habits, mental and physical health for the youth. Just an open discussion where they can share thoughts or ideas, that kind of thing. And then towards the end of the day, they will again, part of that booklet that I would like to give them is a what I learned and what I want to share worksheets. So what I've learned and shared, like they would be able to give that information back to us, which is important. And then go into the closing remarks, like how to take what I've learned and create those positive changes in our community, and then of course pick up.
I have I had no edits except for the 2025.
Yeah, thank you.
Eagle Eye Murphy. That's what the net calls it. I'm like, wait a minute, we're doing it this year.
Yeah.
Love the timing of this. I think your last idea about mental health, their wellness, their physical wellness, especially with social media with our older group, such an important topic at this time. When adults are being bullied online, I can't even imagine what's going on with kids, right? So if you guys like this idea, and I'm loving it, I think all we have to do is let Sarah know what age range we're looking at.
I was just gonna say, having teenagers, they're not likely to attend just because it's a PA day and not to sound negative, but at my age, my kids' ages, they. So I was thinking age group would probably be grade 5 to 9,
Okay.
maybe,
Okay, is that about 8
But I
years
don't know.
old?
5 is
10,
11,
I think.
10, that's 10.
Oh, okay,
Maybe that's a little young, maybe it's 6 to.
I was thinking 8 to 14.
Okay,
Okay, that
Yeah.
age.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, because 14 is grade 9,
Okay, so
right?
I didn't really know until I read Sarah's material, like, again, guys, all I said was youth summit.
Yeah,
So I wasn't sure what this would end up looking like until Sarah authored it. And when I read it, I was thinking that 8 to
Yeah,
14.
unless there's a way to get the teens to come, that at the end of the day, they get something. I mean, they're gonna get a lot of it. It's just
Yeah.
motivating teens to go,
Yes.
right?
I know.
Because they're in a different age bracket. So what can they get out of this at the end of the day, if you could get them there?
And yeah, and it's like teens can stay home.
Besides
only
feeding
during
them.
PA days,
Besides
right?
feeding them.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So why would they
Exactly.
go, right?
No, dead on correct.
And actually, you're right, having a 12-year-old might be a disincentive for teens to attend another disincentive.
Yeah. Or maybe there's another event in the future for teens.
Yeah,
That targets, right now they're looking at what to do with their lives at university, college.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So I think there's different
the
programming.
correct
needs.
color.
So that might be more of a, yeah.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Maybe at that point, we go from that 15 to 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like
Right?
to see.
Like there's so much stress around, picking like grade 11, now going into grade 12, I'm talking about mine, they should decide what universities to go to. Getting the grades, keeping it at a certain level, and
Yeah.
deciding what they want to do, it's it. So,
Okay, so why don't we focus this on 8 to 14? And then for the career fair, that 15 and older. I know a mechanic you can have, by the way.
That's great.
He will.
And yeah, and then again, do you have any ideas for presenters or other topics you feel are valuable? You can send me an email or.
sexual health, they're at the age now, sorry, but they're getting into the age that, I'd say by 14, maybe.
I'm just thinking of the younger ones.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know. I just think they start young and there's more information they can have. Maybe that's Bernadette McCann House. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it could just some guidance or literature around it.
I'm thinking of this more of a,
I
tell us what you want, tell us what you need.
Yeah. Or there's
Yeah,
other
I-
health maybe.
was more thinking of, so like when you're talking about your older groups or so, it's ways to work in their volunteer hours into it, like more as a working group side.
Mhm.
That's how I looked at it, but when it comes to your younger ones, I just thought an interesting one would be making people engaged in it, would be, take sections of like your budget, for example, for community engagement and getting them to deconstruct it and how they would want to utilize the funds in
Yeah.
a community. So that's just the way, so then that's a way to see what would they do if they had the availability of these funds? So
Yeah.
would they spend it on fireworks, can day, stuff like that? And that gives them opportunities to work in the working groups for each section.
I would pay good money to see the answers to those.
But the thing is that's universal with your older groups and younger, and you
Yeah.
can see where it goes from, and then you see the needs and stuff in it. I'm just thinking of ways to engage them, but when you're talking about your older groups, when it comes to your, like your job fair or anything like that, you can look at it, it's just like, hey, what is your focus? Are you trying to get people out, like, get to your event?
Yeah.
So look at what the volunteer base is, and you're treating it more as like a working group, which is what it is. See how that is, especially if you're deconstructing budgets or whatever it is for the township, like, that's how I was more looking at it.
Yeah.
That might be a good thing for your workbook,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
That
depends
might
on
be
the
a very
objective. It's-
interesting.
That's
exercise.
thing, so like, if we're
Yeah.
talking about like, hey, this like, here's municipal affairs, here's like, this is an option, stuff like that. I think that especially we're trying to be like, hey, what do you want to see at Legion Field? Like, how would you design it for a grant, for example?
Yes,
If that's,
yeah.
if that's a perspective, be like, hey, here's one group, here's Foymouth, this is what it looks like, here's pictures of it. What would you add to this park?
Mhm.
Here's a picture of Obiango, what would you add to the park? Here's some Centennial, how would you run this event? Or here's Legion Field, same
And-
thing.
and-
And get them to have a blueprint eagle eye map, and then they can write on, be like, oh, I think we should put a fruit garden here, this here,
Mhm.
and then, hey, that's just. A different perspective, not an adult perspective, a teenager, youth perspective on it. I'm just giving out examples of.
Yeah, no,
These
that's
are
great.
ways to engage, if you're gonna have people come in, engage, what are they gonna do, and what's the purpose?
Yeah.
It's just get them to think within a group, socialize, and then also promote municipal affairs
Mm-hmm.
and life skills, right?
They're not
What
often
we-
asked to for their input either, right?
No,
So we have a
100%.
a working session on how to do this. Be interesting then to compare that group with the team group.
It would be.
Yeah,
Well, it's just.
And then we dash their dreams by telling them that a playground is $35,000.
But it also could be something Rotary might want to get involved in too, because they're actively trying to get younger members and keep the torch going. for
That would be a
Rotary,
good thing
right?
for the job fair.
But,
yeah,
but it's no different. It's like, for example, you're gonna draw some of the kids potentially from like your Catholic school, for example. So they're in the middle of fundraising for their play structure. So it's like a question you can put to them. It's like, hey, you want these things in our community, part of your budget, for example. It's like, but you need another 25 grand. So what would you do to get engaged in the community to raise money?
Yeah.
And it's just different things like that. This is more the facilitation side.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jen will do a good job doing, but.
I haven't done this in years. Dana and I did it. And I think we did a really good job of it with the grade fives of each school and then the grade tens. And I will be honest, I've been remiss in not doing it. Which is why I heard another municipality doing it. I thought that was something that was so worthwhile for me to go and actually be with these very bright minds. And I will tell you, some of those grade fives, they had some very interesting questions for me. So, and I think that their ideas they're plentiful, to say the least. And you know, Johnny Harris made fun of me and still standing about the laser tag. That came out of a youth summit. I'm defending myself here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just think that re-engaging now, especially post-pandemic, the best time to do it.
And I find that if there's a speaker, maybe it's Bernadette McCann again on like all the gender identity issues, it's a huge burden on kids in school right now.
Does
And
Robbie G do
fitting
any of
in,
that as well?
I don't know, but it's just something like I know my kids are telling me about and
Okay.
they're not getting it and they're 17, right? They're not understanding all of this. That's
Well,
the information that's coming at them.
and there's been so much about it after the Paris Olympics, of course.
Oh, I know, exactly. That's
So
why
that's-
it's so topical and it's like, you know, if you have
Yeah.
a speaker to talk about
It's, yeah,
just breaking down the information on it and. what all those
Depends what the
things.
intention, I guess, of
Yeah.
youth
I
leadership
think
is.
that this is.
Yeah, no,
true.
exactly, but I'm talking about if there's a component on mental health and health and wellness, that would be an interesting subject to add in.
I don't know.
It's a big one.
It is.
It might not be something you want to tackle.
It's
You know,
just the age.
I'd
group.
keep it focused on something
Yeah.
else.
And again, like we can't have those Connect Well and Youth Wellness Hub informational booths there, and if kids have
Absolutely.
questions, they can ask.
Yeah. That's
them
more what I was thinking,
directly.
if it's,
Yeah.
not so much to give a presentation, but to
Yeah.
have a support there.
Just a support, yeah.
Just saying there is people here to talk to if you need it, kind of thing.
That's
Here's the
right.
information, the contact.
Yeah, to connect
Yeah.
with someone if they need to talk.
I wonder about the Phoenix Center as well, Sarah.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of our mental health and addiction delegation to Mike Torello. Who else we have on our list?
My thing would keep it focused on
Yeah.
something, like if it's for municipal government,
Yeah.
Volusia municipal government.
The working sessions
then-
you're talking about, right?
Well, I'm just going through, like, you can't be so general and touch every single thing, like,
No.
that's have a focus to it, so when parents ask you, be like, hey, what am I registering my kid for?
Yeah.
Are we talking like municipal affairs? Are we talking about wellness or whatever? Like what specifically you're talking about?
And that's.
And they have to know it, like if we're gonna be talking about other things, well, parents gotta know it, or,
Oh, yeah, we can't add to it after.
well, no,
the
that's what.
fact.
No,
Oh,
this
sorry.
is just people in the
Yeah,
room
yeah,
not
we-
speaking, like
Oh.
just to have there what resources for kids, but not talking like, not
Yeah,
talking about
I keep it
presenting.
focused to.
No, but I see what
leadership and
Brent is
municipal
saying.
government.
If we have an agenda.
Well, if you have a
it
young,
can't-
so for example, if you have a young kid there, and you have a therapist there, to talk about any other issue, and the parents are aware of that, then we're technically liable on anything that comes in anyway.
Well, we wouldn't have therapists there. I think Sarah's simply stating that if a kid wanted to pick up a pamphlet.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's-
it's just
Yeah,
resources, that's all.
Yeah.
What's on kids' minds these days, what are the issues they're facing?
Absolutely. But I think there could be a broader conversation around your career pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's keep that in the forefront as well.
When you think about
Those are really good idea.
the high schools, there's only one guidance counselor. Right, so when you think about kids trying to figure out what they wanna do, it's,
And that's amazing, because in my high school, many years ago, long before you two were born, we had 3.
right here.
And you think in this day and age, only 1 in that size of a high school.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's.
Yeah.
That's a heavy job.
yeah, exactly.
And as we get, you know, the speakers and their topics finalized, like. We will, like, I would ask for a little write-up description for parents so they can actually see what it's gonna be about.
Excellent.
I wouldn't just, say, you don't know what you're walking into, here you go.
Yeah,
You
no.
You could plant seeds too, so if a topic
Yeah.
for discussion was, high-speed internet in rural, in
Mhm.
Bon Charles Valley, that could lead to other interesting discussions as well.
Well, if you put that in the pamphlet, you won't get anyone coming out.
If you put that in the pamphlet, I'm not showing up.
Well-
As the chair of EORN.
They want it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Don't
what
wanna
do they
get
want to
started.
talk about is what I'm saying.
I'm not coming, because I'll get all the questions.
And yeah, and back to the youth wellness, my discussion regarding healthy habits is more like, okay, like what can you do? You can go on walks and fresh air, like that kind of thing. Like, and what,
Learn how to cook.
yes.
How about
like
we ask
those kinds of
Alex,
things.
sorry to interrupt, Alex is young, right? What do you think about this? Sorry, I'm just, because he's representative.
He's older than
He's
he
at
looks.
14.
No, he's 20, but it's not that far long ago, you've
Okay.
gone through this.
It could be like 50, yeah.
My only suggestion would be have a kid speaker as
That's a
well.
great idea.
So that you
Oh.
have someone to level with, like,
Mhm.
cause I don't know, people, like, kids want.
Yep.
Not just an event to go to, but something to actually do there,
Here,
and if they have someone that they're going out to see, I feel like.
You volunteer?
that's it.
Well, no, look at in the leader, they talked about valedictorians and sports awards. There's your pool right there. Get local kids. Now, I know they'll be in, some will be gone on to post-secondary,
Someone like
but
Jenna.
someone who'd come home
But-
and speak.
I don't want to say the name, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that was an excellent suggestion. Thank you, Gen Z.
Yeah.
Always appreciated. Gen Xers don't think like you guys. Sorry, we're old. Great idea,
Oh, come on.
great idea. I like it.
Well, this is just gonna get better and better.
Yeah,
Sarah.
great job,
I'm
Sarah.
really excited.
Anything else, Sarah, you need?
Nope, that's
Oh,
it
good.
for now. Yep.
You've done very well.
Yeah.
And her first presentation to council.
Yes. Other than
Yes.
budget.
I
Yeah.
asked Annette's permission that Sarah come and present this. It's her work.
Yeah.
And she's the one driving it now. And I just thought it was time. She hadn't come before council before, so why not?
Good job.
Great, thank you.
Perfect, thanks, Sarah.
Thanks.
Perfect, so we'll move on. Hey,
Sorry,
that's all
Alex, to put you on the
reports.
spot.
Yeah, way to go.
So we'll move on to correspondence A then. Anyone had anything to talk about correspondence A? They just had the spray pan or plan, public notice, that was about it.
Sorry about the AMO stuff, guys. This is pre-election, that's why.
Exactly.
No worries. On the correspondence B, we've already discussed, number 1. We've already discussed number 7 as well, which was approved. Anything else anyone wanted to discuss?
I wanna talk about the joint health resolution campaign. But I may need to table this to our next meeting. Just give me 1 sec. I just wanna see.
I have no issues if you want to put in correspondence C, that's fine.
Yeah, no,
I think we
I
should
think-
table it, Jen. That'd be best, for time purposes. I think it makes sense.
all right.
Perfect. Can you put that in a correspondence C? for
Brent
the
gets
next
his
meeting?
way. I'd like to table this because this morning, I think we had an addendum to this resolution. So I just wanna go back to my county minutes and figure out what we changed.
Perfect. Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
No
Oh, I'm
problem.
always here for you.
Yep. So, you got that in that correspondence
I got
C,
it.
number
I got it,
1,
yeah.
thank you. Great, so new unfinished business, we've already done where do my taxes go, so I'm just gonna bring that forward to next year. Number 2, museum update.
Just a quick mention that the Ministry of Mines is hosting a session at the museum on August 24th. And it's titled Rocks in the Valley, so it's the geological history of the Ottawa Valley.
That's very cool.
Mhm.
Is the minister coming?
I'm not sure.
That's
I'm
very
not
cool
hosting,
though.
I'm not,
How-
In our little museum.
yeah,
Oh.
Date.
August the 24th at 1
Okay.
PM. Do you want me to send you the flyer? Okay.
Yeah, can you send out the flyer,
Yeah.
Tracy? Thanks. Perfect, that's everything?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, awesome.
I don't know if you want to talk about the Boncher Valley Inspired Tour, and I saw that there's a letter here.
Oh, yeah, that was our invitation. I was gonna put it in
Was
my,
this commentary? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
She-
that's-
Laurel said she was sending a letter to council to give out details and a report of the event.
okay. So, yes, and I was gonna put it in my mayor's report.
Yeah.
And then when I do my mayor's report, I was going to get you to comment because we were partners in crime that day.
Yes,
Yes,
So September,
September.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
Great, establish next meeting. That'd be right after
September
Labor, that'd be
3rd,
right
yeah.
after Labor Day.
Yep,
What was it?
Okay, so September 3rd, 1:30 PM.
that day, back to school.
Perfect.
sorry, what day was that?
September
September
3rd, Tuesday, 1:30 PM, everyone.
In there. Okay.
Awesome. Any questions from the newspaper? Perfect.
So. Are we having? So the next one will be October 1st, after that?
Mhm.
No, next one after that would be September
Oh,
17th.
sorry, I thought she meant the first. meeting.
Sorry.
So it would be September
Yes.
3rd and September
17th and then the
17th.
1st.
Yeah,
And then the 17th, we're meeting at 11 o'clock beforehand to do a tour of EGC.
yeah.
Oh,
But I'll send out reminders before then.
no.
17th, you're meeting at 11?
Last meeting.
I know, but then now I'm going to OEMC.
It's all right. That sounds like a September 3rd. I
That was
we can
11
discuss.
11, you
At
said?
11, yes.
Yeah.
September 17th?
September 17th at 11, we were doing a tour of EGC and then gonna have lunch and then have the meeting. But I don't, like,
Okay.
that
Just-
was the discussion. Is
No, I'm
that
good.
still
I'm
happening?
good. I'm
Oh,
good.
wait.
Sorry,
Yep.
sorry, I
Okay.
got moved to
Perfect.
Monday.
I'll send out reminders though.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Nothing from the media. So then we'll end up going into close.
Can we-
Does anyone want a break
Yeah.
and then we'll go into close?
Yes, please.
So a 5-minute break, please.
I'm
get us back in line. Good to go? Perfect. Could I please have a mover to move us into close, please?
For
Mer,
purposes of an identifiable individual.
yes. The committee proceed in the closed session in accordance with the Municipal Act 2001, section 239.2, deal with the matters as indicated below. B, personal matters about identifiable individual, including municipal employees. All those in favor? Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay,
We are live.
If I could please have a mover to take us out of close, please. Tracy, thank you very much. The council moves out of closed session at 4:09 PM. To rise and report, the council met to receive information, give staff direction regarding honoring identifiable individuals and to approve minutes from July 9th, 2024. All those in favor? Perfect, thank you very much. And could I please ask for an adjournment of the meeting, please? John, Tracy, all those in favor? Perfect, thank you very much.
I forgot to say there's a thank you card here from Connie's family